Hey guys, what's up? So it's been a while. It's been a little over a month since I posted a video, and yeah, I just decided I was gonna take a break during the month of June and obviously now a little bit into July. But yeah, I just had a little bit of a bigger workload and I was struggling to finish it. I had two pretty substantially big commissions that I had to finish by July, and I managed to do that. So because I had those things going on and some other things, I just decided the best choice for me at the time was to take a break from filming, from editing, from drawing even my own stuff, because my commissions took up a lot of my drawing time, and to just focus on some other things. And it felt really good to take that break. I did miss filming, funny enough, and I felt a little bit disappointed at the fact that I set this big goal that I wanted to film every week, and then it turned into every other week, and then it turned into I need to take a month's break from filming. But we're back, hopefully, and I wanted to get this video out and to just update you a bit on what I've actually been doing, because I have been doing things, but yeah, just nothing that I felt worthy of filming, or, well, nothing I could really give time to. So yeah, what have I been doing? Okay, let's start with my commissions. So now that I've finished them and the deadline has been met, I can finally show them to you. So I'm gonna put them somewhere on the screen and then you can see what commissions I've been working on. So the one commission was for a good friend from Ireland, and I actually met him in Korea, so I'll put the commission here. He had such a cool idea, and I'm not gonna go too into detail about it, but what I do wanna say is I was quite proud because this commission took a lot of time, energy, and effort, and I was a little bit intimidated about taking it on because I wasn't even sure I could really do it. Because whilst the movie poster aspects were probably the easiest part in terms of, okay, well, I just need to like recapture and redraw the poster, drawing my friend and his other friends on the couch was a little bit difficult because I didn't really use a reference for it. I just relied on my own knowledge to do it, and that was probably the hardest part for me, because again, I'm not going via any kind of script, as in a reference, and the reference photos that I had to change a lot. So yeah, overall I was really happy with the result, and if anyone ever wants to commission me something crazy and you think it might work in my style, please never hesitate to pop me an email, because I do like taking on challenges when it comes to commissions. They do help me grow, but in that same breath it can be quite taxing, because it's not always easy to finish a commission and love every aspect of it, if I'm being transparent. And for the most part, I, again, hands down, enjoyed working on this commission, but sometimes it felt a bit repetitive, or I would just get distracted easily. I don't have ADHD, but sometimes it feels like I do when I have to sit there and finish something. So yeah. And then the other commission I did, I also won't really go into detail about it, but I was able to draw these 4 dogs, and yeah, I was really happy with the outcome of them. I think they looked super cute. And it was initially supposed to be a deck of cards, but due to the fact that that would have been really expensive to print, my commissioner decided she doesn't want cards anymore, she wants stickers. And so we kind of narrowed down what kind of designs we would draw. I would just focus on her dogs, and yeah, this was the outcome. And it was also a really, really fun commission. So that's what I've been working on work-wise in terms of art. Personal projects, I actually applied, and I'm gonna share this with you. I may or may not get rejected, I don't know, but I will keep you updated on that. But for the longest time, I have been wanting to apply for the Short Box Comic Fair that happens online. I think it's every October. And one thing I told myself is when I get back from Korea, I really want to apply for this Short Box Comic Fair. So what is it? Basically, anyone who draws and creates comics, or if they want to do that, they can apply to join this fair. And basically you just illustrate a comic. And if they like your style, then, or you know, if they like what they see, and depending on the diversity of people and where they're from, they may or may not choose you to make a comic that has not been released. And then basically this comic in a digital file will be submitted online. And then, yeah, when the fair opens, I don't know, I think it's for the month of October that the comics are all up on their website, then people can go and freely purchase them for whatever price you decide. So I just thought that was such a cool thing, and I have always bought comics from this fair because they have just always inspired me. It's so cool to see the different styles that people have. So one of my goals was I want to apply for this and make a comic. And I was actually working on a personal comic that I wanted to share with everyone. However, I decided, you know what, I want to keep that comic for if I get accepted. I haven't even gotten anywhere near to finishing the comic, but if I get accepted, I'm going to work on that comic for this reason. If I get rejected, that's okay. I'm going to then do the comic for myself anyway. But I wanted to apply last year, or not last year, I wanted to apply for this year, but they are not having the fair this year. So applications were open this year for next year, and so I applied. So that was one thing I've been wanting to do, and one thing I could tick off my box. I've currently been working on creating some things again. So I used to sell things online besides art prints, and because I love creating things, I just love being creative. I love working with polymer clay. You know, I made magnets in a previous video. I kind of dabbled in that a little bit more, and I made some things. So give me one sec while I show you what I made. So these are currently like this just because I glazed them and I have yet to remove the newspaper. But this is what I've been working on. I worked on some little magnets. That's what they look like. So I will take a closer look. Yeah. So these are just little magnets, and these magnets actually got so burnt in the oven. I char grilled them by accident. So I really, I had to paint the back, and I was gonna chuck them at one point, this little frog. And it was really quite sad, but I managed to somehow restore them. Yeah. I didn't sand them, so they're a little bit lumpy, but considering they did not get chucked in the bin, I think it's a win-win. So yeah, I have been making some magnets. So why? Because I want to try and actually sell these locally. I don't know, I want to try out. I want to try do a market maybe, or just there's a space I can try and sell them at. I don't know if it's gonna work out. It might not, but who knows. I also still have quite a few Pair in Despair books. So this was a Rezo comic that I made during my time in Korea before I left. I never really advertised it much, and I didn't sell many of them just because I was in the process of leaving. But yeah, it's a story about a pair who perseveres, and something beautiful happens at the end. So yeah, I didn't explain the story very well, but oh well. And then I've also been making some more sprouts. So these are my sprouts. I used to make, I called them sprouts because you can stick a little thing in them at the top. And I'm going to show you that right now. But yeah, those are my new sprouts. I was inspired again by these that I buy every time I go to Korea. And then this was many years ago. And then I made my cat and frog sprouts, which I'll also put somewhere here. And then this time around, I wanted to make something different. As I get older, this sounds really sad because I sound like a tired old lady, but it gets harder to persevere and have the energy to make things, and my hands get sore easily. So I thought, you know what, I don't want to cut and sand and do all that. So the simplest things that I can make are more like oval circular shapes. So I took inspiration from hers. These are what they look like, but these are actual like ceramic things, whereas mine are polymer clay. And then to make them different, I made the nose 3D. I don't know if you can see it. And then I also used crayon, so it's textured. Oh, this is like really hard to film. I'm so sorry. So it's more textured. I guess the black is a little bit more difficult to see, but that's just a close-up of them. So they look like little beans, and then you can do the same thing. And again, this idea is nothing new. So many people have made them before. So yeah, I've been making those, and I've also dabbled in so many things. I've been making some of these. So these are like the Korean knots. I've been learning how to make them. So I was kind of making keychains. I think the smaller ones I like more, but also you got to consider like certain materials and what works. Like I prefer the plain one, for example. I think the plain ones look better, but these have firmer cord, you know, so I like this material more because this one's a bit floppy. So yeah, I've just been dabbling in that. What actually inspired that is this cap. So at the back, it has the Korean knots, and I thought that was so cool. And I know a lot of people make these for like concert freebies, and again, nothing new. But I just thought, you know what? I think that's kind of cool because in South Africa, we don't have a lot of that stuff. But so these, you know, they're key rings, super cute. And yeah, I just want to show off my little toast muffy that I got from my friend in Korea. But they also make cute keychains. So, I mean, bag charms. So I dabbled, and I've been just making that. So that's where I've been for the month of June. I also have some other news. This hopefully will not be the last video in July, but if it is, it's because I'm actually going to be moving. So unfortunately not back to Korea. I'm gonna be staying right here, but I managed to find my own place, which is very exciting. I've been living at home for the past year, almost a year. September would be a year. And whilst it's been lovely, it will be a bit better to be able to have more spaces in the house to film, and I can maybe do more things, and yeah, I think it will be good. And I think slowly things are starting to arrange themselves in a way that I can hopefully cope better. So yeah, yay. Anyway, it's gonna happen next month. So it's gonna be maybe a little bit busy, but I really just wanted to pop by and update everyone and my, 121, 2, 3 subscribers, I don't know. I haven't checked, but yeah, it's just been a bit busy and it's been good, but I really do also miss drawing and creating, and whilst I've been doing those things, I just haven't shared as much, I don't think. And I want to get back to that, you know. Like I said, the whole intention for this space and making these videos was to do those things. But I know life gets busy, and as you get older, priorities change. But I think I'm still in a season of my life where I can do these things and I want to. And so why not, you know? But I guess there's also just some things where I'm like, oh, no, I really don't care enough to share that. Like even sometimes now, I'm like, oh, I could have filmed making those magnets. I could have filmed it, but I was just like, this effort, man, it's so much effort. And again, it's what I want to, like I want to film doing those things. I want to film making these, but I had to learn how to make them. And I'm like, I'm not going to film me learning how to make them and failing. And, you know, I could have filmed making these, but then I'm like, it's effort, and I gotta charge my camera, and I gotta set it up, and then I gotta like film it at different angles, and then I gotta edit it, and it takes time away from being productive making them. And my priority at the time was to just be productive first, and then maybe the second batches of everything I can film. And yeah, maybe some people will be like, well, why even film them? Like, do people really care? Maybe not. maybe they don't. But again, it was never about other people. It was about me wanting to do it in the first place. So, yeah. Another thing I actually wanted to brag about a little bit, what I've been doing. For 10 weeks now, I have been writing a Korean journal entry every single day. I'm gonna include maybe a video of just me going through the pages. I left my book at work because that's where I write them. I write them at work during the day, during like my lunch break. And yeah, I've been really proud because I've been so consistent at it for 10 weeks. But in saying that, I have not been working in my journals. So that goal about finishing 3 journals this year, fat chance. This is not going to be finished. Thought Cat and I is still very much only halfway full. And don't even get me started on the other journal that I said I would finish, because I'm pretty sure that journal's still on like 3 pages. But it's fine because I look at all the other things that I've achieved this year so far. We're like halfway through the year. And I'm really proud, and you know, I can still maybe finish one of these. This is the one I would like to finish, truly. But I'm not gonna hate myself if I don't, because again, I know things happen. So yeah, anyway. But I hope everyone has been having a good year so far. Again, crazy to think we are halfway through 2026. But thank you for sticking around and waiting for this video. If anyone is still around. And hopefully I definitely will be back. I promise you that. What I won't promise you is like when. The plan is to have another video next week, but like I said, it's just a bit chaotic now because next month is going to be a bit crazy. But hopefully after I've settled in my new place and all is well, then I can hopefully start filming more easily and frequently. But yeah, until then, have a great day or night, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye guys. Oh, and just a friendly reminder that I have an imprint page now, so if you ever want to purchase some of my prints, you can find them on my imprint, and the link can be found below this video.